Well, guys, it's a good day. We passed City Council last night, and a dream that we've had now for at least a couple of years, probably longer than that, is finally coming to fruition with Cultivate Community Workspace. And so we are open for business as of Monday, and we're very thankful. One other thing that passed last night that is really what I want to share with you guys is the preliminary plat for the Taco Bell, which will be the gateway to Aledo. And so what do we do about that? You guys have shared with me that you don't want a Taco Bell there. And with our group here at Cultivate, this is kind of what we want to see in our community, is a group coming together and really trying to shape the way that our city can be and can become. And one thing that was super encouraging to me that I got from you guys in the response, it was not just to me, but encouraging to all of us, was out of the 360 some odd responses that we've gotten so far, there were over 90% of you guys that said that you wanted to be involved in shaping your community into the kind of community that your kids would be proud to come back to. When developers come to town, they don't want to come to town and bulldoze through the city. They really want to be a good citizen. And so I think it's important for us to, as a community group, to be really strategically connected so that we're speaking to the developers with one voice. A lot of times what will happen is a developer will come into town and everybody just shouts, no, get out, get out. Well, they're not going to get out, and they do have a right to be here. And so how can we work with them to shape what we want them to be and where we want them to be, so that they're a welcomed citizen? And I think that we have the ability to do that. We have the ability to kind of say, these are some things that we want in our town, and you're not just going to come in and put a cinder block CVS in our town. You're going to have to make it look a certain way. And we're missing that opportunity as the development is already here and we're not prepared for that. And so there's got to be some pushback that really gets these developers to make some changes to the buildings to make them look how we want our community to look. The problem is we have to decide how we want our community to look. If we don't do that, then I can drive down any street in any suburb in the Metroplex and show you what we will become. But one of the things that Aledo has that's pretty unique is, for East Parker County, we have this small town kind of atmosphere that has some charm, that if we put a little bit of forethought into it, the charm can be developed into something that is a destination. It can draw people into this community. And that's what we're hoping to do with Cultivate here, is to get people to stay in the community during the workday, and then to dream about what this charm can be in the city. What's really cool, and you'll see we're going to put some links down here, but like Bishop Arts District, I mean, these guys just created it. They basically broke every rule in the book to create the Bishop Arts District. They named it that. It wasn't that it was already the Bishop Arts District. They just named it that. And they said, well, this is what it is. And this is a cool place to be. And we're a bicycle friendly community. And they were none of that. But they basically spoke it into existence. And we have the ability to do that here in Aledo. And so we have to decide what we want to be, what our identity is, and we need to speak that into existence by taking action in that direction. And that's really what we're trying to do with Cultivate. There's just a huge fear of getting sued in most cities. And I think that prevents cities from really being able to stand up to developers and say, look, we want to work with you, but here's what we need from you. And developers would rather spend the money on moving their project forward than they would spend the money on suing the city. And so just because there's something that is in the code or the zoning ordinances that say that a developer can do X, Y, or Z, there's no reason that city officials and city council cannot push back on that developer and say, I know what it says, but here's what we want to see. And I guarantee you there's a cost-benefit analysis that goes on with that developer. And that developer is going to do what the city wants to do if they really want to get their project in place. I would say right now, one thing that would be good is to call your city councilman and just let them know we don't want a Taco Bell. I'm also going to put together a petition because I've gotten enough information from you guys to know what you want and don't want. But we do need to have a petition with some signatures on it that this is not something that we want in our town. And then I would say call the city. And yeah, I would just start calling them and saying, we don't want this. And what they're going to say is, there's nothing we can do about it. The zoning allows it. You can't keep it out. That same thing was true about South Lake as it developed, but the community came together and they were very strategic about how they approached the developers. That's why I look so much to them and what they were able to accomplish, because I feel like that they have proven that it can be done. Even when they don't have the zoning ordinances and the code that allows it to be done. They did it anyway. And we can do that too here in Aledo.